Hey guys, so today's video I am going to be showing you my current foundation routine. I have really dry skin. You would know that if you watched basically all my other videos. And so I'm going to show you a lot of the products that I use that I have found out are really good for dry skin and other skincare products that I have added to my routine since I made my skincare routine video, which I will link down below, and you can watch that if you want to know more about my skincare that I use and the routine that I do. So if you want to know how I do my foundation, keep on watching. Alright, so let's start out with some skincare first. Now, I have this huge bag of skincare products that I use literally just in the winter. Like in the summer it's not nearly this bad, but in the winter it's like extreme. So some of the new things that I have added to my skincare routine since making the last video that I will link down below are this Tarte Maracuja oil. I finally said it right. Maracuja, I think that's right. And I put this mostly, I have it all over my face right now, but I really focus it in my nose, forehead. I put some under my eyes, but my nose and my forehead are where I'm the most dry. I'm not really dry on my chin or like cheeks. It's just my nose and my forehead for the most part. So I use that all over my face, but I really put a lot in these two areas. And then the other product that I have been loving, because in my last makeup or last skincare video, I talked about this Belif exfoliator, which is great. But this you only want to use like 2-3 times a week if you're really dry, because this will make you even more dry. So you have to use this sparingly. But this stuff, Mineral Peel Face, I think, it's O.R.G Skincare is what the brand is. But it's the Mineral Peel Face, and you just spray this on your hands, rub it on your face, or just spray it on your face and then just rub like you do when you exfoliate. But this is super gentle. You can use this literally every single day. Like, I use it basically every single day. And it removes a lot of skin. I don't think it removes as much as this, but this is just like the little helper, you know what I mean? So that's basically all the new skincare stuff that I have added, but those new oils and new exfoliators really have helped me. Alright, so the first thing I'm going to do is talk about some foundations that I really like that I have found that really work for dry skin. I did a lot of research on a lot of different ones because I couldn't find good ones, and you know, you go to different cosmetic stores and they tell you things, but then you go online and you read about people that have dry skin and they say their review is like horrible. So I just did my research, found a bunch of different ones. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Lorac POREfection foundation. This has an SPF in it. It's oil-free, paraben-free, and fragrance-free. This is a really great foundation, and the reviews on this got great reviews for dry skin. And then the next one is the Too Faced Born This Way foundation. Now, usually when I use like higher end foundations, you could say, I always mix it with this L'Oreal Perfect Match Lumi foundation, because one of the makeup artists that I follow, which I will link her down below, she has really dry skin and she lives in a way colder place than I do. And she said this stuff's awesome, so if it works for her, it probably would work for me, and it really does. So I do about 1 pump of each of these. Well, I won't use them at the same time, but like 1 pump of this and then a pump of this. And it's honestly like the prettiest. Everybody asks me like, what are you using for your foundation? So these are really good things to mix. You can use this by itself. You could use these by themselves, but I just know if this is going to be in there, it's going to look really good. But this Too Faced Born This Way foundation is great because it has coconut water in it, Alpine Rose, which rose, I use so much stuff with rose in it because that's so hydrating, and hyaluronic acid. Hyaluronic acid. That's what it is. I have the little sample thingy here that tells you everything about them. So yes, this stuff is really great for dry skin, and it's medium to full coverage, which I always go for full coverage. But the foundation that I'm going to be using today, and I am almost out of this, I have another one, but it's the Makeup Forever Ultra HD stick. And this stuff is awesome. So easy to apply, especially with dry skin. Sometimes if you don't like pat it on the right way, you get like lines and everything, and it just doesn't look good. But this is like the easiest to blend out, the easiest. Like, I know if I want my foundation to look good and I don't want to go through a lot of process, this is the way to go. Alright, so let's get started on my actual routine. So like every other video that I do, I use the NYX Honey Do Me Up primer, but the only place that I have been using this in the winter is down here where I'm not dry, and I also use this on my neck. Now this stuff, because it's so inexpensive and it really is a good a good primer, I don't want to just use all of my hydrating primer because I don't want to waste it, because I don't need it down in this area. You know what I mean? So I just use my less expensive one. And then for my dry spots, I use Faced Hangover primer. And this stuff is awesome. So I will use this only where I'm dry, because it doesn't make sense to waste a product or use it where it's not really as needed. So, like I was saying before, the Ultra HD stick is the one I'm going to use today. But like I said before, these are great, but if you're going to use them, use like 1 pump of this and 1 pump of this. Same with the Too Faced, 1 pump of that, 1 pump of this. Or just however much you need to use if you use these alone. So the Ultra HD stick, super easy. Like, honestly, like if you need to be in a rush, or if you are in a rush, if you need to be in a rush, and you have to get your makeup done fast, this is like the best foundation, because it's just so easy to blend out. Like, I cannot stress it enough. The reason I am using a brush instead of a sponge. Now, I don't use beauty blenders anymore, like the beauty blender, like the actual trademark beauty blender. I use the Morphe Beauty Sponge. These are a little dirty. I have to clean them, but I haven't used them in so long. I like this one better because it just works better for me. I just like it better. They're $6 or $6 or $7. Super inexpensive. Really great quality. I have like 5 of them. I honestly have like a stockpile of them in my vanity. But I noticed that with my dry skin, when I use, because I have one for setting, this one's for my foundation, and then this one is for setting. You can see like all the white and stuff. I noticed that when I use these beauty sponges, I don't think it's the sponge, I think it's my skin. The product lifts, especially in my nose where I'm extremely dry. The product just pulls and like lifts up and separates. So I had some people tell me that I should switch to a brush, and I've always had this brush, and I used to use it before I got beauty blenders. But if you have dry skin and you notice lifting in your products, then you might want to switch to a kabuki brush, foundation brush, just something that's really dense. Because you will not notice the lifting anymore, because I don't. Because putting water, because you get these things wet, putting water on products like powders and everything like that, with dry skin, everything lifts and everything starts to look bad. So I would recommend switching to a brush if you don't already and you're noticing that lifting. And then to set my face, I use the RCMA translucent powder. If you have dry skin, this is honestly the best product that you could buy, because I noticed when I used the Laura Mercier translucent powder, that stuff's so expensive. This is like $14, and it has changed my entire life. Like, I set my entire face with it. I'm not gonna lie, using a beauty sponge and this, like, it looks so beautiful. Like, it just leaves your skin looking so beautiful, but just in the winter, I can't do it. So I have been setting my face with 2 different brushes. This more dense angled brush from Sephora, and then this fluffier brush from Morphe. Now, I use the dense brush under my eyes and in places that I used to set my product. So I just usually press down and set everywhere I used to bake. But I don't do my nose with this brush, because even though I didn't, this is not a beauty blender, it doesn't have water in it, the product will still start to separate because my nose is so dry, and it's just a lot of powder on the brush. Like, you can see when I put this powder down, you can like see where I'm putting it, because I'm using so much of it to kind of give off that like baking. So now that I've put it, the powder down using this brush wherever I would bake, so like under my eyes, around my mouth, my chin, everything like that, I use the big fluffy brush from Morphe to go, and I just like kind of swoosh it along like that, because there's no reason to like press. My face is gonna set itself either way with this powder. Now when I do my nose, I have to be so gentle with it. So if you are dry, like if your most dry spot's your chin, just put a tiny, tiny bit of product in it. It looks like a lot, but it's really not. And lightly, just lightly press. Like, don't even press hard. So if your chin's dry, just lightly, like barely press down, because your nose will, or any part in your face will still set. You don't have to be like, for that to happen, but just very lightly, because if you press hard, the product will separate, like, and you will see it right away, because I have done it myself until I got like used to it. But yeah, practice makes perfect with that, honestly. And that, I think that's all I have to show you. So I really hope that this video helps somebody out there. If you have products that you use and you have dry skin, please let me know. Ones that you love. I love to know about new products. Leave a comment down below. Talk to me, whatever. I don't care. And yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will see you in the next one, guys. Have a great day.